think what makes it work is, I know.
Is that you're so freaking hot?
No, is being able to do scenes with him and being in it with him. I mean.
Hollywood is mourning the loss of Brittany Murphy this morning. The 32-year-old actress died on Sunday from what officials say appear to be natural causes. An autopsy is planned reportedly against the wishes of her husband. CBS News correspondent John Blackstone has this report.
Someone passes away with cyanide in their body, it looks like they passed away from pneumonia. And there's two people that are close to Diddy that passed away from pneumonia. First one being Brittany Murphy. At the time, Brittany Murphy was dating Ashton Kutcher.
There is something seriously fishy is going on with Brittany Murphy's death, and I can't even begin to tell you how dark this whole thing is getting. Like, we've just got our hands on these absolutely shocking new tapes that are pointing fingers at, wait for it, Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. Can you believe it? And trust me, honey, that's just the tip of this very disturbing iceberg. The tea I'm about to spill, it's going to change everything you thought you knew about this case. Everyone's finally connecting these dots, and let me tell you, what they're finding is absolutely bone-chilling. These new details, they're suggesting something way more sinister than anyone could have imagined. And now, with all these witness accounts and new reports surfacing, we're diving deep into this Hollywood mystery that still gives everyone the creeps. Because seriously, what really happened to Brittany Murphy? Let me take you back, sweeties. Brittany Murphy, she was absolutely everywhere in the early 2000s. From Clueless to 8 Mile and Just Married, she was that adorable girl next door that everyone just adored. She had everything going for her until everything came crashing down in the most horrific way possible. December 2009. Mark that date, because that's when everything went sideways. Our girl Brittany was found dead at just 32 years old. They said it was pneumonia, anemia, and multiple drug intoxication. But honey, let me tell you, this is where things start getting really, really weird. And I mean weird in a way that'll make your skin crawl. What makes this whole situation even more bizarre, and trust me, it gets so much worse, is what happened with her husband, Simon Monjack. Just a few months after Brittany passed away, Simon, who had been taking care of her, also died. And get this, the cause of death? Almost identical. We're talking pneumonia and acute anemia again. Like, what are the chances? Seriously, what are the actual chances of that happening naturally? The coincidences? They're piling up faster than designer shoes at a sample sale. These weren't just random deaths. There had to be something connecting them. Were they both victims of something bigger? Something more sinister? Because honey, in Hollywood, nothing is ever as simple as it seems.
I would say rather mysterious circumstances that Diddy had something to do with the death of his ex-partner and the mother to his children, a woman named Kim Porter. Now what happened was she mysteriously died of pneumonia.
And just when you think it can't get any more suspicious, let me drop this bombshell on you. Diddy's name isn't just coming up in Brittany's case. We're talking connections to other mysterious deaths like Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. And then there's these absolutely horrifying allegations about these so-called freak-off parties. I'm literally shaking just telling you about this. Apparently, both women and men were brought in and let's just say they weren't treated well at all.
Finding out that he wanted all the rights to all his catalogs, I turned him down because I also found out that very night that Biggie had plans of leaving Bad Boy.
But wait, because this next part is going to blow your mind. These new tapes, they have actual witnesses claiming that Diddy might have been silencing people who could expose him. Like actually silencing them. And here's the terrifying part. What if Brittany knew too much? What if she had stumbled onto something about Hollywood's elite that she wasn't supposed to know? Is that why we lost her so young? Now let me spill some serious tea about what happened after she passed, because this is where things get really suspicious. Simon Monjack, her husband, he was acting super weird about the whole thing. He actually tried to stop them from doing an autopsy. Like, who does that? He kept insisting it was natural causes, but honey, we all know that's not adding up. The whole thing screams cover-up.
I'm really concerned that there's way too much medication in your residence. I basically said to her, I think you have more than I do, and I own the pharmacy.
The coroner's report, girl, let me tell you, it was stranger than a $3 bill. They said it was pneumonia and anemia, but then they dropped this bomb about multiple substance intoxication. But here's the gag. They never specified what these substances were. Like, hello? We need answers. The silence around these substances is deafening, and it's making everyone wonder what they're trying to hide.
Different forms of natural disease. He had significant heart disease. He had significant liver disease. There was also evidence of neurological disease and a whole series of other diseases as well. He was also epileptic.
And then Simon goes on People magazine, trying to clean up this mess, claiming Brittany was only taking herbal remedies for her heart and some cold medicine. But sweetie, nobody's buying that story. Not a single soul. The timing, the circumstances, her struggles before her death, it's all just too convenient, too perfectly packaged. And can we talk about Simon for a hot minute? This man met Brittany when she was just 17. Like, excuse me? Red Flag City. He was so much older than her, and the more you dig into his past, oh honey, it's like opening Pandora's box of sketchy behavior and suspicious activities. The whole relationship had people raising eyebrows from day one. Let me tell you something even more disturbing. The coroner's office? They were being super hush-hush about these substances they found. People started whispering about poison, wondering if someone deliberately, you know what I'm saying? And the way they handled the investigation, it's like they were trying to rush through it, sweep it under the rug as fast as possible. And then there's this whole thing with the house they were living in. You won't believe this. There were reports about toxic mold in their Hollywood Hills home. Both Simon and Sharon, that's Brittany's mom, were going on and on about how this mold could have killed her. But here's where it gets super sketchy.
The type of methamphetamine found in Brittany's system is not from the streets, it's from an asthmatic's puffer. It only opens up the air passages. So Brittany has not been taking any illegal drugs.
Like, if you really thought mold killed your daughter, wouldn't you want proof? But no, when investigators wanted to test for mold, both Simon and Sharon were like, absolutely not. I mean, what are they hiding? Because let me tell you, something's definitely not right here. The whole mold situation, it feels like a convenient excuse, a way to explain away something much darker.
I think Brittany Murphy would be here today if she hadn't met Simon.
I don't think that he killed her, but I can guarantee you he didn't save her.
Oh my God, you guys, wait until you hear this next part. So Brittany's father, Angelo Bertolotti, he wasn't buying any of this nonsense. He took matters into his own hands and had private labs test Brittany's hair. And what they found, I literally gasped when I heard this. The levels of heavy metals in her hair were through the roof. We're talking the kind of metals you find in rat poison and insecticides. Like, this isn't just suspicious anymore. This is straight up terrifying. Angelo was absolutely livid, and can you blame him? He went public saying his daughter was deliberately, well, you know. And here's the thing that makes me so angry. Why didn't the original autopsy catch this? Apparently, they don't test for heavy metals unless they suspect poisoning. But shouldn't they have suspected something? I mean, come on! The signs were all there. And let's dive into the whole Ashton Kutcher situation, because this tea is scalding hot. Back when they were dating, everyone thought they were secretly engaged because they were wearing matching rings. So cute, right? Wrong. Their relationship only lasted 5 months, and the way it ended? Total disaster. The kind of mess that makes you wonder what really went down behind closed doors. Word on the street is that Ashton was cheating on Brittany with, you're not going to believe this, Demi Moore. And get this, Demi was supposedly another guest at Diddy's infamous parties. The timing of it all is just too perfect to be coincidental. Like, literally the second Brittany and Ashton broke up, he goes public with Demi. Something's not adding up here, sweeties. The whole thing feels orchestrated, planned, like some kind of Hollywood puppet show.
Wedding night, would you wear anything like this?
Not exactly this dress, but I think the line is very nice, and I would wear something probably that I don't know. Don't come by.
And here's another thing that keeps bothering me. Sharon's behavior after everything went down. Like, why wasn't Brittany's own mother demanding more investigation into her daughter's suspicious death? People in the industry have been whispering for years about a possible cover-up. Some are even saying Sharon and Simon might have been involved in hiding something. The silence from her own mother? It's deafening, and it's making people ask some really uncomfortable questions.
You
know the salacious story behind Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher's divorce. Background very quickly, these two had a 15-year age gap when they met. Ashton was 25, no kids. Demi was 40 with 3 kids. They met in 2003. They got married in 2005.
But this next part, it literally sent chills down my spine. People close to Brittany were saying she had started refusing to play by Hollywood's unspoken rules. You know, the ones that supposedly included participating in Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. And guess what happened next? Industry insiders say she was being blacklisted. Like, actually blacklisted. Her career was being systematically destroyed because she wouldn't play along with their sick games. Could this be why everything went wrong? Was Brittany silenced because she wouldn't play along with these shady Hollywood rituals? Was Diddy involved? What about Ashton? The more you look into it, the more questions you have, and honestly, it's getting harder and harder to believe this was just some tragic accident. The whole thing reeks of a cover-up, with layer upon layer of suspicious circumstances, convenient explanations, and people acting in ways that just don't make sense if this was really just a natural death. Every new piece of information that comes out just makes the whole thing more disturbing. So, what do you think really happened to Brittany Murphy? Was she caught up in something way bigger and darker than any of us could have imagined? Were Diddy and Ashton Kutcher somehow involved in covering this whole thing up? Or is there something even more sinister going on behind those Hollywood hills? With all these bizarre circumstances and missing pieces, it's impossible to ignore the possibility that her death wasn't just some random tragedy. The truth is out there, and it's time for people to start asking the real questions. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more shocking revelations about Hollywood's darkest secrets.